Hello everyone, Coach An here. November 24th, Tuesday edition of the podcast. Today we're going to talk a little bit about college basketball. I'm very excited for the season to start tomorrow. So hopefully I can deliver some information that will be useful for going forward as you watch them or think about them. So let's get started. So how this season schedule, in terms of schedule, is different is that the first game is being tipped off tomorrow on November 25th, which was delayed from the previously scheduled date of November 10th, which is just north of 15 days. It's not a big deal, but finally getting some basketball to start it in the real tough times during COVID. So it will be very interesting to see, just like college football. So the practice started on the October 14th, so the players are well warmed up. But in terms of the exhibition games or scrimmage or even Midnight Madness, if you're into kind of that thing, there's none of that. So it's been a little bit disappointing, as those are kind of like a sneak peek preview of how teams are going to be looking in this season. And the players are going to be played up to 27 regular season games. Now, it varies by conference, but each team gets at least minimum of 4 non-conference games, and it's pretty interesting. Some get more than 4, but at the minimum level 4. And they're scheduling the non-conference games as kind of like a regional, whichever the school is the closest for them to play against. And I know several schools actually canceled the games, unfortunately, even though they scheduled kind of like used as a flexibility because they ran into some COVID cases, unfortunately. So if one team runs into it, the other team can't play. So that's kind of like an unfortunate scene that is turning right now. And in addition, lots of head coaches that is going to report every day they have COVID. So they will not be traveling with the team, opposed to some of the games getting canceled. And there's some really good early tournaments. That's what we usually get in early start of the college basketball season. Many of the season it's like an event of the non-conference games. They schedule it. So couple of tournaments that watch. I'm seeing the list right now. Empire Classic. There's the 2 national championship contenders in there this year, Baylor and Villanova, and that starts right up tomorrow and runs to back-to-back days till Thanksgiving. So it'll be very interesting for these top 2 heads go at it. And also when we talk about the non-conference tournaments, Maui Invitational is one of the clear-cut favorite and everyone's eye on. There's some really, really great teams in there to compete, but unfortunately this year teams won't be able to travel to Maui in Hawaii to compete, but as opposed they will be in Asheville, North Carolina, Harris Cherokee Center as like a location. So it's pretty loaded. I mean, Alabama, Davidson, Indiana, North Carolina, Providence, Stanford, Texas, UNLV. So the A team is a traditional Maui bracket, and this tournament has a deep tradition, which started in 1984. And what are some of the March Madness dates you need to know? Obviously, the March Madness is one of the biggest celebration. Probably I'll put it right up there with Super Bowl as in the level of where the level of interest that people has in the March Madness. Obviously, this is a college basketball tournament with 68 teams compete for the championship. And, as we get closer to the date, I'll definitely cover if we do have it in the 2021 season to wrap this college basketball. Last year, unfortunately, we didn't have it because there was an outbreak of COVID. I was very disappointed. It was one of my favorite events of the year. But when we got the news, in terms of cancellation opposed to the postponement, that broke a lot of hearts to a lot of sports fans, including myself. So, but interesting enough, this year it will be kind of like a similar format starting in the mid-March and then kind of go on. But they want to put the tournament Now, this is just the last week that they announced that they want to put all the teams, 68 teams in one metro area for them to compete and round it up in the major cities. So right now, as it's scheduled, it's in Indianapolis for Final Four, which likely leads to believing that it'll be around that 2-hour kind of driving radius that the teams will be in that kind of like a bubble for to compete in the March Madness NCAA tournament style. So it would be very interesting how these teams will go there. And also, every year there are a list of contenders there. I mean, obviously Duke, Kentucky, Kansas is always there. And this year, I believe the Gonzagas, Baylor, Villanova, Virginia, they're the top hats. So, but when it comes down to March Madness, there's a reason it's called March Madness. So we'll see how this season proceeds with the COVID just lingering around forever. It seems like many years we were still having it. So, but that's just a general info to get you started with the college basketball. And I hope you enjoy my pod today. Hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.